Thank you. Thank you, Reverend Mapes. And as I pulled up and saw what a little bit of a chilly day it was here today, I said, now this is not a Sunday service, okay? No 1, 2, 3 hour services because we're going to lose everybody. So thank you for your brevity, but also the passion with which you bring to it. And I am honored to be introduced in such a way and to be associated with the legacy of someone like Sojourner Truth, and to all the people who've been speculating as to what we're going to name this beautiful parkland. It is going to be named in honor of Sojourner Truth, and I'm delighted to see. Thank you, thank you. I do want to acknowledge some people as well. First of all, it's Reverend Mapes for his, the heart that he brings to this and the work that you do in our communities. Thank you very, very much. Our Commissioner of Parks is here, Eric Coolestate. He'll be hearing from it. He is a legend already. I mean, what he has done in bringing his talents and his passion for our incredible parks to bear. And he's personally responsible for breaking records in our attendance. So let's give it up for Eric Coolestate. Richard Krupp is here, our chair, scenic husband. Ned Sullivan, our president, is here. I've worked closely with those individuals, especially Ned on our REDC, so thank you. Maud Bruce is here, the Ulster County chapter of the NAACP. We're going to be hearing from you in a couple minutes, so Maud, thank you. Michelle Hinsey, our state senator. Michelle, oh, come on, have a seat. You got a chair up front here, Michelle, come on. Like Shirley Chisholm would say, grab that chair and bring it to the table here. So right there is yours. All right, no, that's a wonderful entrance, and you have been responsible for bringing resources to this project. I want to thank you for your leadership on this as well. And Steve Noble, the mayor of Kingston, and Pat Ryan, two individuals that are sitting here today. We're not talking about a storm. We're not in a DOT facility. Talk about how much ice and snow we're ready to be dealing with in our DOT trucks. And I just want to commend you and incredible leadership during some tough times. The community has been really under siege by Mother Nature. I don't know what you did to make her so mad, but she really had her 5 days without power in Ulster County. Only Ulster. And you're like looking at a map of the state. I have 62 counties. What's with Ulster? But went to the place with the people who could handle it the most. And I know your residents and Michelle and I and others were all out there working so hard to keep them warm and get the heat back on. And so thank you for this. Is literally just a few weeks ago, February 7th, I think it was here. So also some of our supervisors here, Danielle Freer and Jim Quigley. I come out of local government. Let's give a round of applause to these individuals. So I come out of local government. It's all about the supervisors and the town board. So thank you for your support here as well. So everyone is gathered here. And again, perfect day, the last day of Black History Month. And within hours, we'll be selling Women's History Month. So this is the day to do this really special event. And that's why we're gathering here right now. And we honor someone who is known for her fight for civil rights and for women's rights. Sojourner Truth literally grew up or lived 7 miles from here. So this is very appropriate that people will come to this park. And certainly the locals know her story. Incredible resiliency and the grit and tenacity. She traveled around our country talking about these rights and these values. She gave her famous "Ain't I a Woman" speech, except I'm going to correct the record here. I actually think it was "Aren't I a Woman?" and people put that in her as they transcribed it later, assuming she was from down south, and she would have said "Ain't I," except she's a New Yorker. She would not have said "Ain't I." She said "Aren't I a woman?" So let's correct the record on that. So she. And just a little bit, on August 26th, on 2020, we unveiled a statue to her as we crossed the Hudson with the beautiful Hudson State Park, the Riverwalk. And I remember walking across that and talking to people about, actually people thought I was just like a local. I look like a local, that's good. And some tourists were asking what this is all about. And I was like telling them, and so it was kind of fun to just, I think they're from North Carolina. They're very intrigued that we put up this statue to Sojourner Truth. And her family members were there. Corey and John came all the way from Michigan, I recall. And they couldn't make this one, but they promised they're going to do their best to attend what'll be, this is the groundbreaking, but the actual opening, which we're going to try in time for Earth Day this year, right? Is that, we're going to get on schedule, Commissioner? Okay, I said it, so it has to happen now, okay? So, yeah. So this is actually our first state park since 2019. And who do we name that state park after for 10 points? Shirley Chisholm, there you go. Shirley Chisholm in Brooklyn. And that was a beautiful, again, a tribute to strong women of color with the hope that we not just honor their legacy, but also to inspire generations to come to learn these stories. Much like when I was a little girl, I used to check this one book out of our local library so often. The librarian finally said, why don't you just keep it? It was a story of Harriet Tubman. And similar to Sojourner Truth, what they had overcome in their early lives, enslaved and in that thirst of freedom that they had that was so powerful that they literally broke their chains and went forth and helped other people. And that's the powerful story of Sojourner Truth. Grew up steeped in Christianity and felt it was her responsibility to help others and earn the rights that had been so long denied. She worked with people like Frederick Douglass and others. So an amazing story, a truly amazing story, and a huge point of pride for us here in the state of New York. And to do it on this site too, this rebirth of this land, which has had a long history, making cement here, making ice. I mean, it was an industrial site. And to think about how generations before us just neglected the possibilities, didn't see the possibilities of what we have on this most beautiful waterway that has been explored and part of our commerce, part of our story, part of the Hudson River School of Art, really dating back to Henry Hudson, 1609, made his way up there and really opened up the frontier of the northern part of our state. So this is a place to be celebrated, a place to be honored, a place truly to be revered for its incredible beauty and history, and Sojourner Truth is part of that history. And when people come to this park and explore and get the fresh air and enjoy the outdoors, like so many people discovered during this pandemic. I mean, again, I mentioned our record-breaking attendance here. It is just incredible how many people have come here, but I want them to not just come to parks and explore and to re-energize the soul, which is what outdoors and parks do for us, but to understand a history and to understand that it is our responsibility to carry the torch that was passed to all of us from people like Sojourner Truth, who would expect no less, because the journey for true freedom and justice and civil rights and rights is not over yet. And I stand here saying that very firmly in 2022, that we are continuing to take that torch past us, make it glow even brighter before we pass it on to the next generations. We have a moral responsibility in her name and others to make sure that we're fighting against prejudices and discrimination and injustice everywhere it rears its ugly head. Sojourner Truth would expect no less. That's why we're gathered here today, to honor this place, this hallowed ground, but also to honor an individual. And that is why I'm very proud as governor of the state of New York to declare that this is now forever forward Sojourner Truth State Park. So thank you. And with that, Eric Kulisade will talk to you about how amazing our state parks are. We all need stewards. This is the person who is the keeper of that flame as well, to ensure that we continue to nurture our parks and make them be stronger and even more vibrant. So Eric Kulisade,
thank you,
our Commissioner of Parks.
I brought my mom to see you today. I had to have the governor say hello to my mother. I begged her. So I also just I'm going to do a couple of acknowledgments, and then I have to acknowledge the governor back for her incredible leadership. But I do just want to recognize Joshua Laird, who's the executive director of the Palace Disney Areas Park Commission here. Andy Beers, who is the director of the Empire State Trail. Brendan Dwyer from Hutton Brickyards. And Ned Sullivan. We'll be talking more about Ned Sullivan and Scenic Hudson in a few minutes. So thank you, Governor, for those inspiring words. And I blush because she's so kind to me. But there's really no one who she sets a standard for governor knowledge and experience of parks like no other governor in history. She actually spends the night. She camps in our parks. She takes her boat in our parks. Stays in our cabins. She calls me if it's not clean enough. So there's been no governor in history who comes to the job with her experience and her vision. And you know what? She's doing incredible things. I mean, she is right out of the gate. She is already, the kind of budget I'm looking at is sort of extraordinary. We're getting a $90 million increase in parks capital funding under her proposed budget, which is an 80% increase to allow us to build out parks like this. A $100 million increase in the Environmental Protection Fund, which also protects open space and cleans up the environment. And a $1 billion add to the Bond Act for a $4 billion Clean Water, Clean Air, Green Jobs Environmental Bond Act. Thank you, Governor. And it really is, it's just, and as the governor said, you know, the timing for us couldn't be better. 78 million people last year, a 41% increase in 12 years. We wouldn't be able to serve the public without the governor's support, so thank you for that. I also, and I'm grateful that you asked me to stay on as your commissioner. No greater honor. We obviously couldn't do this without many partners. We're standing here really because Scenic Hudson started to pay attention to this property 15 years ago when it was proposed to be a 1,600 unit development right on the shores of a mile of Hudson waterfront. You're on a mile of Hudson River waterfront. That kind of opportunity does not come up very often. And I may have to Scenic Hudson, who since the 1960s, since the fight against the Con Ed plant at Storm King, they've been there taking care of this valley, nurturing this great valley, and they've been a great partner to us. They're a partner here, partner in many other land acquisitions, and couldn't do it without their caring for the natural and cultural resources of the Hudson Valley. Yeah. I also, we are already, the park, the park has actually been open for the Empire State Trail, so Andy Beers, that was Andy Beers last year, who opened a 750-mile trail across from end to end of New York City. Runs right through this park. And Senator Hinchy, thank you for your support, $200,000. It'll go towards helping to restore the mule born, because there are cultural assets here, so thank you for bringing money to bear. And then, of course, I think the governor acknowledged the mayor, the county executive, Supervisor Quigley I met earlier today, Steve Noble, Pat Ryan, and Kevin Cale. I didn't see Kevin. So anyway, so thank you for coming. And now we're going to hear from Maude Bruce, who is the Ulster County NAAC chapter president. If you wouldn't mind coming up and saying a few words to us.
Good evening, good afternoon to everyone. It's such an honor to be here to present. And I want to thank the governor and her staff for inviting me to come. It's an honor. Before I get started, I'd just like to introduce some members of the NAACP that came with me. We have Madeline Phelan, Secretary, Gammy Singer, Treasurer, and my daughter, Lisa Bruce. Thank you. February is the shortest month of the year, but we as Black peoples celebrate Black history 365 days a year. February is set aside for remembrance of our history, remembering our history, the strength to move forward. Like gives us strength our ancestors had as they fought slavery and worked to escape slavery. We come today to honor one of them today as we dedicate this state park in memory of Sojourner Truth. And I guess you all can hear my accent. I migrated here to New York in 1967 from Georgia, and I'm proud to be from Georgia, original from Georgia. It's just like her contemporary Harriet Tubman. Both of them actually moved slaves from the South to the North until she acquired her freedom in 1826. Isabel Van Wagen, as Sojourner was called, labored as a slave in Rifton and West Park, as well as at a tavern in Port Ewan. Those expenses form the basis for the evolution of this daughter of Aesopus into a national known advocate for the abolition of slavery and for the voting rights of women. May this park dedicate to her memories remind us of this American hero and inspire us to continue to fight for truth, equity, and justice. And I just want to say, I'm thinking of Sam Cooke, a change is going to come. Well, that change is here. We're looking at a change. Many changes is being made today within the United States. And I can say we never thought we would have a black president. And now we have a black woman as vice president. A change is coming. A change is here. And we have our president, Joseph Biden, who has nominated a black woman for the highest court in the United States, the Supreme Court. A change is coming. It's here. It's here. And we're going to fight, and we're going to fight for justice. Justice for everybody. Justice for everybody. Because for injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. So we're going to fight, fight, fight.